You can literally just hoop it up right here, and then the ocean is right there. Alright, so this is a trip I took earlier this year, late February and early March, when I wound up taking a whole trimester off of college. And so I traveled from Eugene, Oregon, all the way back to Minnesota on the Amtrak train, 48 hours. And then from there, I flew down to San Juan, Puerto Rico and back on Spirit Airlines and stayed in a hostel. And I ended up traveling over 7,000 miles. 2 hours of sleep right now. And I was just up all night, packing and hanging out with my friends one last time. It was really fun, but now I am so tired. That thing is called the Empire Builder. It's what's gonna take me all the way from here to Minnesota. It's like a 30-something hour long train ride. I actually didn't even realize that my train trip was split into 2 legs. One being from Eugene to Portland, and then I've had a 7-hour layover. So I paid $10 to just check my bags so that I could get rid of them for these 7 hours and I could just wander around. The route goes through Portland, and then I'm gonna go up through Spokane, and then all the way across northern Montana, and then through North Dakota until it finally goes back down to Minnesota. That'll be super cool. Also, another thing is, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm surprising my parents. They have no clue about this. I talked to my dad and my mom last night, and I was just baiting them, telling them that I was just looking forward to spending a couple days in Eugene.
Have your attention, please. We are now boarding.
Thank you. All the way across down to your right, first yellow step.
In your seats, we are still at this time boarding.
I once again basically have the entire train car all to myself, and I'm in the front row. I have a ton of legroom. This is honestly gonna be not bad. At this point, I've been traveling for about 8 hours, and it wasn't too bad. It had a cool train car, the food was pretty gross, and it had a tiny bathroom. But for $136, I honestly could not complain. We just had our first designated stop point where they just let you get off the train for 10 minutes and walk around. So I decided to get out. I had no idea this was even a thing. And it also made me just realize that I basically will be woken up every 3 to 4 hours for their mandatory stops that they have to do. We just stopped in the town of Spokane. It's almost 1 in the morning right now. They also said that this train stop is going to be about 30 minutes, so I'm just out here walking around. Just did a loop all the way down this whole train car that I'm in, and I am the only one left in it now. There's a toilet and a shower, actually. There was a few of these really nice first class seats, and it honestly felt like such a waste not being able to use it when there was a bed and sheets and a pillow right in front of you. I counted all the seats because I was bored. There's 64 seats in this car. I have the entire 64 seats all to myself. There was a conductor patrolling, so I didn't really want to risk it. But when we woke up in the morning, we were in the middle of Montana, and I just spent a couple hours looking out the window as we went over some of the most beautiful bridges and rivers, and the landscape kind of just like shifted with the train tracks. It was just super cool. And then from there, it turned into more of a Iowa looking. As day 2 went by, I spent a lot of time just hanging out and listening to music and watching the scenery go by and just eating ramen noodles and other snacks. They just let us out in the town of Mino, I don't know however you pronounce it, but it's basically straight northern North Dakota. And it's 6 degrees outside with the wind chill that makes it feel like -3 degrees. I'm freezing my butt off, so I'm gonna get back in, even though, bro, this stop is an hour long. Holy crap, it is cold. I fell asleep somewhere in the middle of North Dakota, and then when I woke up in the next morning, we were just getting into Minneapolis, going through the city, and kind of making our way along the river.
In an undisclosed location.
Wow, it is chilly. It's a -2 degree wind chill this morning. After 48 hours, I made it.
Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing here? Huh? What the heck? What are you doing? How are you here?
Hi, Mom.
Oh my God! Are you real? What are
Yeah.
you doing here?
I spent a couple days at home before revealing to my parents that I had bought another trip a good 2,500 miles away for the next week. I booked myself a non-refundable flight and room in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and I'm leaving this Thursday for 6 days. And so about 2.5 months ago, I started just searching on Google Flights for the cheapest flights that I could find, and I found Minneapolis to Puerto Rico and back for a week for $205. I have about a 2-hour layover before my next flight.
En la parte de atrás de la tarjeta. Por favor, déjelo saber si quiere que lo cambiemos de asiento. No tiene que indicar la razón.
Need the chart? Nah, I don't need it. I just got a backpack. I've been walking around San Juan for about 3 hours so far. I'm just so amazed on how green and lush it is, and also just like how big it is. There's just massive buildings right next to the water, and everything's so pretty. And it's like 80 degrees out, blue skies right now. It's so nice out. It's been just so cool so far. I've seen surfers and snorkelers and the beach. Everything's just been awesome. You can literally just hoop it up right here, and then the ocean is right there. I got pineapple ice cream out of a streetcar for $4, and for lunch I had fish with fried plantain and a little salad thing, which was super good. I spent my first day in Puerto Rico just exploring some really cool old forts from the 1500s. One of the security guards thought I was getting a little too close to the edge when I was just trying to film the drop-off, so I kind of toned back how many things I was climbing on this fort because there was a ton of cool ledges. And then I went to this park and it was just so picturesque until I saw this guy flying a massive kite and he dropped it and it flew away from him and his dogs. We're staying over there in the region called Condado. I'd estimate, I don't know, somewhere around these buildings. All right, since nobody's here, I thought I'd show what the hostel looks like. So there's two different types of beds. There's these that go the long way. And then this one over here is mine that kind of goes sideways. It honestly feels just kind of like I'm sleeping in the car. It's not that bad at all. I have this little space down here. I have my swimsuit. I have a bag with some ramen noodles I've been making because food can get expensive. And then it comes with this little lockbox and a lock that you can lock all your stuff in down here, which is nice. There's a security camera over there. Try to keep stuff safe. Out here is the balcony. And then there's also a community fridge. Like, I have some pineapple juice in there. And then over here is the bathroom section. So there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 beds in this whole thing. And there's also a little storage area for people who have suitcases. I only have a backpack, so I'm not using that. But there's a sink right here, mirror. There's this really weird like curtain bathtub thing that I don't use. Overall, it's honestly not bad at all. And for like $30 a night on average, I think it's really worth it for the price at least. I don't know if you can see how bad I butchered my shoulders and my neck yesterday, but it hurts so bad. I slept like 12 hours last night because I was just recovering from how much sun I got. Alright, I thought I'd do just a little hostel pool tour as well. It's got this nice little waterfall thing here, and plants on top, and then, I don't know, it's not that big, but just the fact that this hostel that was so cheap has a pool is just so cool. Also, there's been like 2 people here in the 3 days that I've been in Puerto Rico so far that I've seen at the pool. I went on a nighttime walk on the beach right before bed. This is what I get for not checking the weather app. Just started pouring out of nowhere. Oh my God. I got up like 4 hours earlier than usual today because I am doing a guided waterfall and rope swing and cliff jumping tour in this national park called El Yunque National Park, which is maybe 45 minutes away from San Juan. And I'm walking about 2 miles to get to the van pickup spot right now. And it is going to be so cool. I've just been looking at photos and videos and stuff, and I'm so excited. I've got about 10 minutes before I'm going to need to call it and actually start running through this so that I don't miss the van. I'm just trying to wait and see if they'll let up just the littlest bit because it is absolutely pouring. One thing I noticed is that the weather on Puerto Rico changes so quickly. After walking through the pouring rain for about a good 10 minutes, though, I got in the van and drove about an hour more inland to the El Yunque National Forest. And this was the muddiest hike that I have ever done in my life by a mile. This thing got pretty gnarly at some points. Oh, oh gosh.
and let go.
Alright, can I dive? Back through the mud. If you ever get a chance to go to Puerto Rico, I highly recommend doing the rope swing and natural water slide tour. There was just so much nature and it was just a ton of fun and really beautiful back there. Look like such an idiot right now. I spent my last couple of days in Puerto Rico just wandering around the city, eating some new food, and doing some cool activities like snorkeling around. And overall, this was the last week of, I ended up taking a whole term off of school, and I did a bunch of other cool stuff. I made some other videos, but this was the last week of my term off, and it was just an amazing experience. I highly recommend, if you can ever get a chance to take an extended period off, to do so and travel. This was my last couple flights home. It wound up being 3 flights back, but I couldn't complain considering I paid $205 round trip, and then I made it home to my dog.